All right, my friends, tax time is here. Do me a favor, please, for the love of all that is good. If you have a teenager or you know somebody who's young, who's working in retail, maybe like Maddie, my oldest, she worked part-time for retail. She worked part-time as a TA. If you know somebody who works, who's a teen, for the love of all that is good, make sure they file an income tax, please. I just can't tell you how many people don't do it and they don't know what they're missing. It's nuts. All right, here's how it works. I'm telling you right now. I'm not getting into if it makes sense for you to claim your teenager on your taxes or not. I don't know that. Well, I'll run the numbers when I start doing my own tax crunching later on. But how it works is simple. All right, we'll use Maddie. All right, Maddie gets $13,600. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but for simplicity, we'll say $13,000 of standard deduction. Maddie's only going to make, we'll say, $10,000. All right, so inherently, she pays no income tax. Now, she still had to pay FICA. There's no getting around the 7.65 to FICA, but she paid no income tax. So why should she file a tax? Because she had income tax withheld from her paycheck to the state and to the feds. And so they're going to withhold it. I don't know what they will hold it at the rate of 10%. I don't know. Now, that means all that money she paid that was withheld, maybe on her W-4, she claimed 0. Maybe she claimed 4. I don't know. Most of them are going to claim 2, I think, right? Either way, they're going to withhold some money on her paycheck, and that money is hers. She can get it back because $10,000 is less than her standard deduction, which means she owes nothing, which means all the money she paid will come back to her. I hope that makes sense. I know it's confusing. Trust me on this. When I was in high school, I used to do taxes for a lot of the black kids. A few of the black kids on the football team. And I think I charged like 10% of whatever I could get back from, something like that. It's probably not legal to do that, but I mean, what are you going to do? Freaking throw me in jail? Anyway, so the reason I did that is because I knew how the tax code worked. How I knew is because my mom told me how the tax code worked. She's the one that said, make sure you file your taxes. This is back in the day we had to use a pen and paper and whatnot, and pencil, the paper of the tax code and a pencil, and have to manually write it down. But it's easy. The 1040 EZ is simple, man. There goes an ambulance. A 1040 EZ, how much did you make? $10,000. How much did you pay? $300. Subtract the $10,000 from your standard deduction. How much do you owe? A big fat goose egg. And you are done, my friends. And that's it. That's literally how it works. And you are done. And so because of that, you owe nothing. You'll get that I think Maddie got 228 back from the feds last year and like 80 from the state. So she got back $328. Now, the benefit of it, too, by the way, remember, with Social Security, we take your top 35, we index them for inflation. So even if Maddie only made $10,000 this year, that could be indexed at a rate of, it might be the worth of $45,000 later in terms of indexing because of the AWI, the average wage increase versus COLAs. I just did a video on that not too long ago. I've done tons of videos on AWI versus COLAs and how Social Security indexing works, so I'm not going to do that here. But just remember, every single year that you actually work, and if you get 4 credits, all right, so you work, I think it's $1,500 a quarter is 1 credit. Once you get 40 credits of Social Security, you will qualify for full Social Security payment. You can't get 40 credits in 5 years. It takes 10 years of working to get the 40 credits. So even if you don't make that much money, now this is regardless if you file a tax return or not. I don't want to say like you don't get the credits if you don't file a tax return. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, if you don't have 40 credits, you don't get your full benefit. That's all there is to it. And a credit is the equivalent of basically $1,500 of earned income every quarter. So if you only have 36 credits, you get a reduced Social Security payment. Even if during those 9 years of work you made big bucks, you're not going to get big bucks. You will get a reduction in your Social Security because you did not have the full 40 credits. And so every year you work, even if it isn't making much, even if it's just sweeping, washing dishes at the ice cream shop, I mean, that is going to go towards your 40 credits, which also means that money will also be indexed for inflation with the average wage index. So that way, for a fact, you're going to get a bigger benefit from Social Security. So, don't shy away from working, even if it's not making much money. B, file a flipping tax return, because that's your money you're gonna get back. And then and C, understand that the fact that you're making money goes to your 40 credits, but also goes for average wage index, which essentially is inflation, which will pay you more later on down the road when Social Security looks at your top 35 years of earnings and indexes them. You'll be glad you had made some extra money if you don't plan on working for 40 or 35 years. All right, we'll see you.